SacTown Movie Buffs TV with your host, Kierre
Welcome back to another edition of SacTown Movie Buff Television. Once again, it's your host, Kierre The Critic, and today we have our lovely co-host, Bunny.
Hey, it's your girl, Bunny.
And today in the studio, we will be talking and chatting with Mr. Nathan Reedy, who is an amazing actor. Has been acting for forever.
Amazing.
That's
All
right.
Well, you said it. Yep, I'll take it. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
How did you get involved in acting?
It was a long time ago. I was one of those students in high school that probably did better doing a presentation about a topic than writing a report. The whole I before E except after C thing, I still don't get it right. Good thing there's autocorrect. So that happened for a few years. My folks at the time happened to notice it, and so they pushed a piece of newspaper in front of me, if you guys remember what that is, and it had acting classes on it. I won't name the company at the time. I feel like I got ripped off quite a bit, but eventually stumbled into a local company called Just for Kids. Kathy Jensen, Dennis Glasgow, they were doing it at the time.
Wow.
This is years and years ago.
Were you a kid?
No, I mean, in comparison to what I am now, yes, absolutely. But I was probably in my 20s, probably before I was even 21. But
Right.
we started taking acting classes and kind of got bit with the bug of it then. So I've been doing it ever since, more of a hobby. You know, things are really, really coming together around this area now. I mean, we're seeing stuff all the time. You guys
Right.
are putting up stuff like this. So it's maybe I was a little ahead of my time, but it's full stream now, and just got done doing a play, and we'll be in a PCS film this year. So, yep, we're full bore now. So
For sure.
That's fantastic. So, I know you just wrapped on a play.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character?
okay, so the play was God of Carnage, and see, you're gonna make it hard. Good thing no one will see it, I guess. God of Carnage and James Gandolfini played Michael in that particular play when it first came to the States and played, in New York or whatever else. So I played that character.
Wow.
It's
Very
my
cool.
first actual theater play. I've done improv in the past and mostly film acting.
Right.
But I was like, well, I want to grow. Theater actors are battle tested. They got to learn lines.
that's
They got a
true.
lot of acting muscle.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure there's a different approach to it versus how you might do a film. So I wanted to take on that challenge, and I did that. It was 44 pages. I'm not sure. Maybe I would have taken something a little smaller if I had thought it through.
Right. For your
But,
first one jumping in. No, sometimes you just got to jump right in
Yeah.
the deep end. I get that.
I think I did okay. We just finished yesterday, and so a little tired, but it was an amazing experience.
That's very cool. So in your experience, obviously this was your first theater performance.
Sure.
What would you say is the major difference between doing, theater and versus doing an actual acting in a film or short or something of that nature?
So for me, I guess my experience would be this: like when I've done film, I've always kind of looked at it as I'm trying to find a way to be the most authentic person I can be. So for me, it's more of a inside out kind of an experience.
Right.
A way to describe it. I'm sure there's a gazillion ways to describe it. For me, it was a little bit more of an outside in kind of a thing, if that makes sense. So
Right.
before, I would always think like, well, how am I going to actually feel this way? Now I'm taking clothing and stuff and sets and putting it on myself, saying, how does it make me feel?
Right.
And so it was a bit of a process. It was like that, I guess, to abstractly describe it.
For sure.
More of an outside in. You have to be bigger on
Right.
stage. It's like in film, if you were going to perform in the wide the whole
Right.
time versus being very, very close and things just resonate off your face. It's like, how do I adapt how I feel into more of a physicality,
Right.
that type of stuff. So
And then obviously the protruding of your voice and things of that
yes, oh
nature.
my God, that's the hardest part.
Right.
It's the projection. It's the hardest part.
Yeah. No, I definitely could see that. I've done very minimal theater in my background, but
Yeah.
it's a different animal for sure.
Yeah, and there is something to be said about a live audience, right? A lot of times here, I mean, we were talking about this
You
earlier.
got to get it right.
Yeah,
There's there's no cuts.
There's no safety net. Well, that's it too, right? It's
Right.
like film, you can kind of stop, especially now that we have the DSLR sensor. You're not worried about rolling film,
Right.
But a live audience, it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Sometimes we make our films and then we get to watch them like a PCS in front of people, and so you get that gratification.
Right.
But sometimes you don't even get that.
Right.
So the live audience does make a huge, huge difference.
For
So,
sure.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that up because I know that you've got a film in, excuse me, PCS this year. Can
Yes.
you tell us about that?
Yeah.
So it's called Cold. and it's one of the 10 films. It's part of the place called Sacramento Film Festival that they have every year. I guess it won one of the scripts. Stanley Simmons directed it and shot it with a group of a bunch of talented people. I'm sure I won't remember all their names. And so, yeah, it's going to show in
Next month, right?
Yeah, the 11th, Friday, the 11th of October.
Oh, so really just a couple of weeks from
Yeah,
now.
very close,
short,
very close. So, and it's always a great thing. I mean, the PCS has been around for, I think, we're on their 23rd year.
Right.
But it's gotten better every single year. It's getting very competitive, which is
Very.
great.
Yeah.
And look, it's a very small community here.
Right.
We all kind of know each other in a derivative way, but it is. It's like coming together with your family.
Oh, for
thousands
sure.
of them.
Yeah.
And then watching, the projects.
Yeah. I mean, they sell out every year. It's
Every
a
year.
great production. I think it's a great thing for the community as well, especially for first-time directors, first-time
Yeah.
actors, first-time screenwriters. Gives them an opportunity to
I
get
cut
themselves out there.
My teeth. Like, I've made 3 PCS films myself over the years.
Oh,
And so I
wow.
basically learned through a place called Sacramento. It's a huge portion of how I learned how to make films, how to act. This has been an amazing learning venue. Tons of dedicated people that want to learn. And, I couldn't say better things about it,
Very cool.
So.
Very cool. Well, before we get you out of here, if anybody wants to work with you, where can they find you? Where would they reach out to you if they want to have you in their next
Say that into
project?
this camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so Nathan Reedy, this face. Look it up on any of the socials. My mug will be there. I like to. I've been trying to focus more on acting, that kind of stuff, but I will help make films. I'll help edit. I spend my life for my career on an editing machine a lot. So,
that's good to know.
any of the socials, you know where they're at now. You can find me there. So, and come check out a place called Sacramento.
Absolutely.
and
That's
Cole.
if you don't do anything else, make sure you come to a place called
Subscribe
Sacramento.
to this. This guy is building a community. So,
Do what I can. We do what we
you're-
can here.
He's so humble.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much. We greatly appreciate you being on the show. I can't wait to see you on the big screen next month here, and
Thanks.
we'll have you back again soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
Hey,
Thank you
thanks
so much.
again.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Nathan. Always a pleasure.